See? Everything about the Abrahamic faith is nothing but forcing their way upon everybody, and if you don't accept it, then you die. Then all of it, and you want examples of it going on today, other than the World Trade Center? Look at Africa. Google which children of Africa. See what the Christians are still doing. They still want to kill. And it's children. They have no regard for children. Go look at the videos. I'm sure they're all over YouTube. Hell, a friend of mine, Pagan Ron, I know has the videos on YouTube. Yet they will stand there and tell you that their God is all love, all caring, and all forgiving. Where is their care when you can kill another in the name of a deity? Where is their care when the deity orders you to? Where's the love when your deity orders you to kill an innocent for him? The love is his love of murder, death, and blood. So you're all going to fight amongst yourselves and make the rest of the world suffer for you, because since the conception of the Abrahamics, there has been a race to find weapons that can destroy more people at one time, so that they can intimidate and force their way onto the world. And now we have bombs that can take out millions of people at one time. Is that the legacy of the Abrahamics? Where's the love, the care, and the forgiveness in there? And if that were the right way, why does there have to be 50,000 different types of each group? And who's right? You can't all be right. So you're going to fight for it, and you're going to bring about the end of days. You're going to blow each other off the face of the earth. So there's your fire, you little Christians. With your little, the earth is going to end in a ball of fire. You're going to be partly responsible for it. You'll share a third of the blame. And the Muslims, you do it so sneaky, and you're looking to get your hands on them, and you'll get them. And then you're going to launch them back and forth until the entire earth is dead. And everybody and everything on it. Now, can you tell me where Satan has anything to do with your little squabbles amongst yourselves? Your end of times prophecies or your prophecies, but you're forgetting to blame the right people, yourselves, over your greed and your non-forgiveness. You all talk bad about Hitler, call him a dictator and a fascist. I think you should all go look in the fucking mirror. Each one of your religions force you to take over the world, and you're trying to take over each other at the same time. You all follow religions that call for death and murder and blood. How can they be loving? How can they be caring? How can they be forgiving? Yet you all worship the same deity. And it seems funny this deity was never heard of before a couple thousand years ago. Yet he created everything. He wasn't here when the dinosaurs were here. Man created him. And then you have a bunch of men who say this God talked to them. Okay? Prove it to me. And don't tell me a book proves itself. Then you have two of the leaders that are pedophiles. One's a drug addict. You have a story of a lie, because their own book says that the Savior in Christianity is going to be named Emmanuel, yet they end up with the Savior called Jesus. I'm sorry, the two do not sound alike. They have nothing to do with each other. There is an audio up on one of my pages where I tell you how that story come about. And if your damn God was all caring, loving, and forgiving, why does he need a fiery place of hell? He would forgive regardless. So that shows vindictive, maniacal, torturous. And Christians, look at your emblem. Look at your big, fancy icon. A cross. A device of death and torture. That tells what you worship. Death and torture. And it wasn't Emmanuel. It was another human being who was a criminal by his own community standards. There is no book that proves itself. So the Quran does not prove itself. The Bible does not prove itself, because that depends on blind faith and the indoctrination, which is just a fancy word of saying brainwashing, from birth to believe that. From people forcing it upon you and hand feeding it to you and taking you to a building on Sundays and cramming it deeper into your head. And each one of you will stand there and judge each other. Oh, well, he's not a real Jew because he does this. He's not a real Christian because he doesn't believe my way. He's not a real Muslim because he doesn't believe my way. You're all a bunch of goddamn hypocrites. And the top phrase that comes off my mind for the Christians, since they seem to be the ones crying the most, is judge not lest ye be judged.